Start your day just right. Welcome to Mornings Together with Rob, Mon, and Bernie.
Well, hey. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Level
and welcome.
two.
Level two. Welcome. Georgia,
It's a
Allison.
new day.
Yes, Georgia.
It's a new dawn.
Georgia's in there as number one today with her level 2 comment. Michaela Gary straight in off the bat with morning team.
Morning, Michaela.
Wow, it is weird. We're at level 2 now, you know?
We're at level 2. Yeah.
Level 2.
I saw in the news that there was a line of like 20 guys standing outside a barbershop at midnight last night. I mean, there's desperate and then there's ridiculous, right? Yeah. And so these guys, there's a long line of them in Auckland. Apparently it was happening all over the place, but they had a line 10 deep until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So that was a real thing. I saw that posted by one of our people at our church. That who's going to get their hair cut? Who's going to the barbershop at midnight? I'm thinking, oh, ha. It's a thing. So
it's amazing.
God. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a pretty smart media thing to do.
At the start of level 3, it was KFC and McDonald's. At the start of level 2, it's hairdressers. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Interesting to see where New Zealand's priorities are at. It's great. Let's say hi to some more people. Demi Thorne says hello. Hi,
hey, Demi.
Emily Onehill says hello.
Hello,
Marcella
Emily.
is digging the intro. We dig it too.
Yeah, Marcella.
Michaela Gary says,
it'll be live once.
Yeah. Michaela Gary says, good morning, girl boss. From to Monica,
yes,
from
Olivia, my girl, my little girl boss. She's amazing.
And Jolene's really excited that her daughter can finally go visit her friends now that we're at level 2, which is lovely. And Graham Randall says, good morning, guys, as well. So great to have you with us.
Morning to the Randalls. Yeah.
On this Thursday, the 14th of May, this is the 33rd episode of Mornings Together, which is, again, still a wild thing to even comprehend that we've done that many. It's great to have you with us. If you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube or on the church website. Ben McCulloch is saying hello this morning. Hey, Ben, how's it going?
Yeah, Ben. Hey.
It's so good to have you with us, Ben, this morning.
Absolutely.
Everybody's very, very excited, I think, about being able to go out and see people.
Yeah.
And so the question I want to kick us off with today, and people in the comments can answer as well. This is from Gillian as well. Good morning, guys. My school day has begun. Only one more day of teacher Nana to go. So of course,
Nice. Well done, teacher Nana.
Go teacher Nana. So my question this morning is what will be your first outing under level 2? And so I want to hear from people in the comments and also from you guys, Rob and Mon as well. Where are you going? What's the first thing you're going to do at level 2?
Oh man, I've got a driveway full of junk that needs to go to the dump. So I am going to the dump. My garage is half full of recycling, and I need my garage back, so that's got to go. So it's to the dump. As soon as I can get there, I just go into the dump.
Yeah. We've just had someone like the post at the same time as you saying that, Rob. So I'm sure it's a felt thing. I know for me, our garage is half full of rubbish and recycling that needs to go as well to the dump. What about you, Mon?
Well, first I'm going to go get a barista coffee. I don't care from where at this point.
I'll make you one, mate.
A barista coffee, and then I'm heading straight to Mecca or whatever because I need some makeup. Like I'm out of so much. Like I'm on the dregs, man, of everything. I'm like pumping the thing and trying to get the last bit out of just the girly stuff.
Yeah.
My lipstick is completely empty, so it's just like, come on, I need some stuff.
Oh man. So we got some people chiming in what they're going to go do today. So Jillian's going to go get a haircut. We had deep hair chat yesterday as people were preparing for the haircuts today.
It's all about the hair.
All about the hair. Marcella's going to go pick up a winter school uniform.
That's right.
Oh, and do the recycling as well. Georgia is going to the chiropractor. She's also having some friends coming over to study today.
Cool.
Study, sure.
Study. You're just gonna watch Twilight or something. Emily is going to go to Bayfair to the mall out here near Papa
with the rest of Tauranga.
Philip is looking forward to his 3 p.m. haircut today. So Dori's husband Philip is going to have his haircut. And the haircut chat continues today. Michaela Gary is going to go see her soul sister Rachel Young, and she can't wait. Smiley face.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Apparently Irene is listening to us right now from the top of the mount. So our show is going to a whole new height right now. That's
right. There you go.
Send us a picture.
So cool, Irene. Embrace the view for us. Yeah, so cool.
Graham just wants to let you know, Mon, that you still look good, even with limited makeup going on. So
thank you. It's like literally, you're so sweet.
Georgia does follow up his comment with saying it's going to be an expensive day for you then, Mon.
Oh, girl, please. Exactly. It's just like 2 months of like, oh no, everything's just gone.
Ben McCulloch is excited to catch up with friends and other flats at uni. Georgia is actually saying Twilight. I've got 3 assignments due in next week, so maybe just one of the Twilight movies will be watched, I'm assuming. And Hannah is saying that she went. She's carrying on working, but went to the warehouse but couldn't get what she needed. So So it seems like haircuts, seeing friends, and going to the mall is some of the popular things that people are doing and taking out their trash, taking out their recycling. My exciting outing today is actually just to go to the church and just to set some stuff up for us next week. So
he's so faithful, man.
I haven't been in the building in a while. I gotta get there.
I've got to go visit it. Yeah,
but no, I'm going in today to get us check out some stuff for us for next week because we're going to be around the same table from next week
together.
I know we're going to be together.
We truly will be mornings together because we'll be together, and you will be with us digitally as well. So yes, that's what's going on. Keen to keep hearing what you guys' plans are for level 2 over the next little while. Please remember to be kind and be safe during this time. Like there's still the virus out there, so just be kind. Be smart and all that. But we want to again just throw out the invite that tomorrow we're doing a little bit of a special thing on the show. Is we're going to get some of you on with us tomorrow. So if you're interested in doing that, had a couple people tee up already for it. So if you want to do that, please let me know.
Yeah.
Send it through to stories@bethlehem.org.nz and we can sort that out so you can jump on for a little bit tomorrow. Share what do you like about maybe some of the guests we've had on or some thoughts you've been thinking, all that stuff. And we will have a regular guest on tomorrow as well. We'll have a normal guest and then you guys coming on tomorrow as well. So it'll be a bit of fun. Monica, Sarah Whitaker. Oh, that's Graham. Sorry, these comments just keep popping up and I keep clicking the wrong ones. Sarah Whitaker says, "Hi, Monica, streaming you guys in England. Have a blessed day."
Oh, that's so cool. Hello, Sarah, man. Right on. You too have a great day. What time is it in the UK? That's just
an hour.
Right there in the comments. So we're on top of mountains and we're all across the pond in England right now. This is an international affair right now.
I know. We had a shout out from my cousin Stephen in California yesterday. So it's like very cool. Yeah.
Mon, your fans are around the world. Sorry, was that Rob?
Exactly.
We're international. We need sponsorship. I'm telling you, this is going big.
We keep talking about the whole merchandise thing. It is going to happen. We are going to, now that we're level 2, we're going to get some stuff going.
We are going to get
t-shirts, maybe a beer cozy, maybe some PPE. Who knows? We'll do a variety of things.
Mornings together.
Yeah. But it's just Rob's smile.
Wouldn't that be great?
Just Rob's smile. It's
there we
mornings
go.
together.
His mug.
Yeah.
Bernie's beard.
My beard. Mon's sunglasses. All these things. Branding everything. But let's press on with things, shall we? We went way past the Bruce line yesterday. Let's pull things back. Yeah. Let's throw things over to Flavor Rob.
Yeah, Flavor Rob. Come on.
Flavor Rob. Come on.
The flavor tip of the day. So for the last, I was looking back over my notes here, and I've been sort of trying to make sure I go in different places with our food tips. And so one of the things I haven't talked about is our base elements. So often a nice carb that goes with your meal. Okay, so we've been talking about how to do duck, and we talked about a simple stir fry. When I talked about the stir fry, I talked about rice. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to talk about a few different base areas. So rice, couscous, and potatoes. All right, different areas that you can add a little bit of starch to your meal. So one of the things I talked about the other day with rice is trying to get some flavor in there. Now, couscous, I don't know if any of you have used couscous. It's very easy to make, okay? It's literally put it in a bowl, put some boiling water in it, and put a plate on top, and it steams itself with that hot water, and then you just fluff it up. So one of the things about rice and couscous is it's very plain, and you often want to flavor it with whatever your meat is or whatever your vegetables are that you're putting on top. But you can actually add flavor to those base elements as well. And so I talked about last, I think it must have been Monday, adding something like a cup of coconut cream instead of just water. Squeezing a lemon in there and making sure you put salt and pepper in there as well when you're cooking that rice or that couscous. Other flavors you can stick in there: mint, parsley, a bit of chili, maybe sometimes some herbaceous goodness. You can exchange not just for coconut cream. You can put some stock in there. You can buy a box of 1 liter stock. Put a cup of that instead. You can use tea. I've seen people put tea in their couscous or their rice. Okay, so get a very lightly flavored tea and add that in there. It just gives it something different. The other thing is once it's cooked, putting a zest of a lime in or a lemon, and then fluffing it through maybe with some Parmesan cheese. All of those elements in your base, and then your stuff on top. You want to have all your elements as much flavor as possible. Obviously, salt and pepper is a big thing. So that's couscous and rice. With rice, it's always 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice, 2-to-1 ratio. And then with couscous, you just want to cover it with boiling water, and then it absorbs it all. Okay, so those are the kind of key tips around that. You can have those base elements just with some chopped chorizo in there or something. That can actually be a meal in itself. Just add some veggies to it. The thing about potatoes, people love a good mashed potato, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so one of the things is everyone's like, how do we make good mashed potato and it's healthy? There's no such thing. All right. So mashed potato is just quality goodness, and you've just got to stick butter or cream in it. That's all you've got to do. Butter, cream, salt and pepper. But the thing is, you've got to use the right potatoes for good mashed potatoes, and agria potatoes are the potatoes. Some people like to peel the waxy potatoes. You just cut those suckers up and roast them. That's what they're for. Agria potatoes, you peel them, you get them nice and fluffy, you whip them. You can use one of those stick blenders if you've got one of them. It makes it really, really fine. And you put your flavorings in there. You can put herbs in there. Always put salt and pepper, but cream or butter.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
All you need.
There you go. So there's your base recipes this week.
Good.
Add those to your meats. You'll be happy.
It was so good. It's so good. Like I remember one time my dad tried making mashed potatoes for us as a family when we were kids, and he went a bit heavy on the cream and also a bit too heavy on the whip. And what we got out was closer to milk than mashed potatoes. It was more of a fine potato soup, which is great. We haven't let him forget it. Obviously, as I bring it up again, I'm 31 now, and it's still stuck in my mind. But it's so true. Like people try to make. You can't change mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are just good, man.
So good. And for extra creaminess, whether it's an American thing, add some sour cream. Just a dollop.
Ooh, here we
it's
go.
really yum.
Yeah,
like it gives a little bit of a kick. It's really yum. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Michaela Gary's has chimed in, Rob, and said that I think your recipe book should be called Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, it's going to take you to heaven.
Yeah,
it's going to clog your arteries and take you to heaven. Hallelujah.
So good. Gillian Briscoe is just saying that her grandfather used to add finely chopped raw onion to his mashed potatoes.
Yeah. So
just for a little bit of a kick.
Chives. Yeah.
Chives.
So yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
But I couldn't agree with you more about it. It's that you needed to use the right type of potatoes for sure for a mashed potato. Any kind of potato thing. Too many times I've been caught out using the wrong potatoes trying to make something and it just doesn't work out. So it's important.
No.
The potato chat.
Maybe we talk potato chat next week.
Yeah. Well, you have promised a fries episode at some point. So because we got to complete the trinity of you've talked about burgers, you've talked about filet of fish burger. We got to do fries, man. We got to get
fries.
Those done.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
we'll get those out for next week. And because we're all together, we could make some and eat them together.
Yeah, we can eat it live on the show.
Come on. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome.
I'm excited for this.
All right.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So, we had a comment come in. Yes, so Darren Porter agrees about the raw onion and new mashed potato. It's amazing, assuming you like onion, of course. So there you go. There's another little hot tip from the community. So we want to
salt, garlic salt, celery salt.
Yeah,
put all those things in there.
So we want to keep hearing your stories as we go through this time. We talked yesterday with Naomi about how this whole COVID thing's more of a marathon, and we are 3/4 through. There's still a way to go, and there's there's ripple effects with some of the stuff that's gone on. That now we're at level 2. We're probably about to get to process a lot or be caught up with some stuff. So send in your stories. We want to hear what's going on, but also the care team is here for you as well. If you have any stuff going on for you, please fire that through to care@bethlehem.org.nz or give the church a call on 07 576 2344. You have to add the +64 if you're calling from overseas, of course. But because we're an international podcast now, we have to do that. If you have any prayer requests, you can text use the keyword BBC Prayer to 4040. We love praying for you, standing with you in prayer during the season. This weekend, our services, again, on Sunday morning, they're going to be online on all the different platforms you're currently watching right now. So on the church website, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And they'll be at 9 and 11 a.m. on Sunday morning. And there's about half hour of children's programming in the lead up to those.
Good.
We had the Turner family on earlier in the week. They're fantastic. They're awesome. They've been part of the things for the kids and stuff like that. So catch that on Sunday morning, 9 o'clock and 11 a.m. And finally, if you are wanting to listen back to any of our previous episodes, catch up on some of the guests and previous banter, all our episodes are on Spotify and Apple Podcast. So just search Mornings Together. We're also on Google Podcast as of yesterday as well. That just happened. And so you can find us there. I don't know who listens to Google Podcast, but we're there as well.
That's so cool.
As well as another few other places. So we're in a few different places now with the whole podcast theme, but Apple and Spotify are definitely the ones I understand most. So that's why I talk about it most. So have a listen.
We're spreading like a virus. Oh, too soon. Sorry.
Oh, too soon. Too soon. Sorry there, Rob.
He's been waiting to do that one. It's so good.
But I'm going to pass things over to Rob to introduce our guest for the day.
Oh, so exciting.
Rob, take it away.
Very cool. Hey, we're really lucky today to have a good friend, someone who is serving our whole movement of Baptist churches as the National Administrator to the Baptist Movement, Mr. Winston Hemmer, all the way from the North Shore in Auckland. Great to have him with us.
Winston.
Some of you thought I was going to say Winston Peters, but no, Winston, great to have you with us, bro.
We did think about teasing that out yesterday, saying, hey, tomorrow, guys, we got Winnie on the show, and see how many of you...
Exactly.
See what they would say. That would have been like 100 viewers.
Yeah. I know he's popular in Tauranga. Yeah.
It's cool. It's nice to be here and share this time with you guys. It's awesome. So ka nui te mihi ki a koe, ki a koutou katoa, tēnā koe e hoa Rob, tēnā kōrua Bernie and me Mon, tēnā koutou kapo. Ai. Kia ora.
Good to have you, bro. Good to have you.
Love it.
Are you asking questions, Bernie, or am I asking questions?
I think you are, because...
I am.
I don't know.
All right.
You can be the guest host. You did such a good job the other day. You did such a good job.
He did a fantastic job.
I just put on my radio voice. Good to have you with us, bro. And I know that you are working from home like most of us, and that's a bit of a challenge. So in your bubble, you have you and Katrina, your wife, and your 3 kids. How have you coped with this new normal, and what is going to be some of those special times?
I'm just going to mute Rob for a second there because his mic freaked out. So I'll let him. We give him the power of hosting, and his microphone's like, I can't handle it, so I'm freaking out. So just to recap, the question, Winston, was like, so tell us a bit about your bubble. So your wife is Katrina, and how you guys have coped with the new normal of lockdown, and what has been some of the highlights for you and your whānau.
It's been busy. Yeah, we've got I've got 3 young kids, so they're 9, 7, and 3. Taituha, Kezia, and Anaru. So it's a busy house, but I'm an extrovert, so I quite like having us all together, and we have my in-laws with us as well. So that's nice. I wanted to have a shout out to Craig and Michaela for you guys there, and just say, he was at my first national leader when I started into my role, and an amazing leader for us at the Baptist Union. And Michaela is just a star as well. So I just want to acknowledge her. And you guys got a special family there with the Vinals. So, I only had a short time working with Craig, but because I joined later in his time. But yeah, he's awesome. And then with Rob, Rob was our chair of our Assembly Council, so I got to know him pretty well.
You were saying before the show you've actually got some dirt on Rob that you
Come
on,
Winston.
Here we go.
No, Rob was probably a real close person for me to be able to debrief and have a safe space, and he was a good friend. To be honest, me and Rob, when we entered meetings, we probably dropped the average age by 10-20 years.
That's right. Yeah.
That's so good.
Rob was a safe space, and we I really appreciated him and having him around. So I miss his face around the office, and yeah. But actually, Bernie, I just learned yesterday that my wife used to babysit you, Bernie.
Really?
No stories. Pretty small world away, but
very small.
I've got no good stories. But
that is crazy.
There you go. That's gold right there.
That is hilarious.
How old were you, Bernie?
I have no idea. I guess I don't have any memory about it.
It was a fair way back, Bernie. But she told me yesterday. She sort of said, "I used to babysit Bernie," and I was like, "Really?"
That's hilarious.
I like it.
That's too
I
good.
like it.
That is so cute.
No, that's good.
Nice.
If my mum is watching this right now, she could probably provide more context for that. But she's probably a bit busy at the moment. But that's hilarious. That's great. But Rob, do you want to carry on with the question?
Only New Zealand, man.
Early in New Zealand.
I think I fixed that stink mic you gave me, Bernie. So that's all good.
Yeah. Only one more day with that, Rob. Only one more day, and then we'll figure it out next week.
All right. So, Winston, it's been awesome, taking that journey with you over the last year or so with the National Administrator role. And I understand all of the breadth of what you do and the amount of people that you interact with in the Baptist movement. So what does a normal day look like for you when you're not in COVID-19? And what does it look like now, now that you're wrestling through all these intricacies?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to put everyone to sleep though, Rob. Come
on, bro.
The administration manual, it's pretty big, and there's 240 churches, so it's quite a bit I could talk about there. But I'd say my role is a lot of consulting. So I'm an accountant by training, and worked with tax a fair bit. So a lot of consulting to churches and pastors and treasurers and our administrators. So sometimes linking people up with resources, providing guidance. I have to be on about 12 different boards representing the Baptist churches, a number of different spaces. So so that's busy. And then I'm on the Interchurch Bureau, where we have a coming together of all the denominations to talk about regulations and tax and different things that the government are doing, and making sure that that the church understands that, and our voice gets heard in that space. So that's probably a key role there for the Baptist churches. And then, you're saying that the last 7 weeks, how that's changed. So basically, it's basically try and do all of that, and then add COVID and try to stay up to speed with that. So it's and try and help our 240 churches stay up to speed with what the government's announcing. And so it's been pretty tough. I think on that announcement. There you go.
Yeah. I can only imagine, in terms of on a local level, the amount of time we've had to adapt and re-gear up and waiting on announcements to find out what that means for us. I can only imagine what that feels like for 240 other churches as well, and you're having to handle that all at the same time.
Yeah, and adapting on the fly. You know what I mean? It's quick, doing it quickly and coming up to speed. And what the heck is Zoom? And it's all that.
You're the guy everybody's going to call and be like, "What does this mean for us as a church?" And
and so
you could write this up.
We've been doing probably, I think we're at communication number 18 since COVID started out to our churches. So that's when different things change and how that affects church, and the different levels of how we can meet and all of that. My role with my team, we have an awesome team at the centre. So we all work together and we pull together, hopefully communications that are relevant to the church, put it into what's our context. And then health and safety, my role looks after the health and safety side for us at the office. So that's been pretty busy lately, trying to get my staff ready to be able to go back into the office. Like that's
Wow.
pretty full.
That's massive.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
All the fun
times.
Amongst those many things, though, bro, you're privy to seeing what happens across our movement, right across the country, and you've had to interact with churches that are really hurting in this time, but you're also interacting with churches that are being innovative. They're coming through with some stories that are heartwarming or inspiring. You want to share a couple of those with us?
Yeah.
For me personally, I love seeing Jesus's hands and feet in the community, as putting out our love of Jesus out to all our different people that might be struggling in our community. So, I love seeing the support through our sort of food banks, when we're really out in the community. And so, I think I saw a photo of one of our churches. It was like full, its auditorium was full to the brink of food ready to go out to all the different social services that church was connected with. So just really awesome. The Baptists are really awesome at rallying together and getting stuck in for our communities. And that, for me personally, I just love seeing that.
That's cool.
Some of the other stuff I've heard is like just similar small things, like someone saying, they might have watched the online service or something and then shared it with their neighbor or family or friend who don't normally maybe attend church. And that person was like, oh, well, that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I'm excited for when we get to follow up those sorts of people and get to share more about what God's doing, share more about the church. That's exciting. Like just those little things I think are really cool.
I love that.
And I'm sure there's been people for you guys with what you're doing here where they've enjoyed having a space to hear from you guys and share and just be a part of things. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who want to then ask, well, what is God saying to me in that time?
I hope so. Hey,
so good.
So good.
So among the many things you've done, you've worked for the man, Mr. IRD. You oversee many of the things to do with the finances of the Baptist Union. And we were talking yesterday and you said it's a bit like trying to look into a crystal ball and make up what's going to happen in the future. And I've talked to a few people who are sort of wrestling with that. So what are some of the things that you would say making up some of that financial landscape in the future? And what would be kind of one or two key pieces of advice to a church or just to us as individuals in thinking about the future?
It's a difficult time, and for businesses in the finance space, there's a lot of commentary out there about people putting up their opinions about what they think is going to happen and what not. I actually, one of my boards, we met with some of our investment managers, and I think this was around January, and they're very happy and buoyant about the markets. And then, the markets have dropped significantly since COVID. So it was interesting. Like, so there's lots of different opinions, but I guess to give something practical would be saying, like I've been saying to our churches, just be conservative this time. Like a phrase maybe cash is king sort of thing is the financial horizon does look bleak, so maybe and it's uncertain. So look after our families, look after our immediate businesses, and but we should stand in faith and have courage that God's will is good, and we should keep pursuing what He's doing. And then I guess my hope is that as the financial pressures and come onto our economy, that our Christian business leaders will be some of the leaders that have creative new thinking about how we can work and our economy will move forward through this. I think God's got something to say into this, and that I think as our Christian business leaders listen to where He's leading us, I think there's some exciting potential changes for us coming. And then, I think things like cash flow forecasts, like people are looking at what their revenue or income for a church has been for a certain period, and then reducing it by a certain amount so they can see what will be the effect if we do see a reduction. And that sort of forecasting is needed at this point. But yeah, like I'm personally excited about concepts like kaitiakitanga economics. So for me, like that's where we're looking at things far more from a values-based model of the economy. So yeah, moving forward, I'm excited for people. I've heard these different voices rising lately, which is this: we need to do things differently, you know, like as we come out of this. And that's cool. Like I think the more we have models that care for our people, care for the whenua, the environment, you know, like those are going to be much more sustainable models.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm glad that you're excited. That kind of like, oh, that's so neat. Hey, seriously, because it can be look really bleak, but it's like, no, there's some new things that can come out of this. And looking after our communities is so key. Yeah, so good.
And I think for me, like, you know, I could come up with something here for you guys, but like I feel like God's plan for this all is what we need to be pursuing and praying and spending time with Him for where He is in this is really important for us as Christian leaders.
Follow His lead.
His plan will be far better than what I could give you in terms of any financial advice today. So that'll be my encouragement for everyone as really as we go into these different chapters is be open to what He's doing and pursue where He's leading at this time. Yeah.
Man.
Perfect. So good.
So you went one of those ones standing outside the barbershop at 12 o'clock last night, bro. Because your hair looks a bit slick.
I thought you would have noticed I'm growing out, mate. I'm growing it out. I'm going long.
Give me that.
Like,
right on.
I'm going to grow to a top knot, I think, mate. So,
top knot. Oh, don't do that, bro.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Do it, Winston. Do it.
Nice.
Well, we're going to start to wrap things up now, I think, as we're divulging into hair chat again. It seems to be the topic of the week is hair banter.
Smoldy boys, bro. Smoldy boys.
Not a bad thing. But Winston, I want to thank you again for being with us today and to taking some time out of your busy schedule to be with us together on the show today. It's great to have you. Thank you for the words you shared. I love what you did say about, like, you know, we can try and plan the best we can, but ultimately it's down to what God has got for us, and we should be seeking that out. And we've talked about that a few times. It's like the illusion of control and how the only thing we actually can control is the way we surrender when it comes to big things like this. And so I think it just fits perfectly with what you were sharing just before. And in a moment, I'm going to invite you to pray for us as we close out our time together. But I just want to invite you all back tomorrow morning for 9 o'clock. So tomorrow it's Feel Good Friday. So we're going to have some of our listeners on the show. We've got our children's pastor Mandy Kramer on the show with us tomorrow as our guest. So that's going to be really cool. So make sure you come back again tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And remember, you can listen back to this later on the day on Apple Podcast and Spotify. So hello again to all those who are listening later on the day. It's great to have you with us. But Winston, why don't you close us out with some prayer? It'll be great.
Yeah, Lord, we just thank you. Thank you that we can gather and share with each other. But I just pray that as we go into our days today, that we'd know just a clarity from you about your plans in this time. And I just lift up all the people of Bethlehem and our churches to you, and just pray for your peace, your wisdom, and your covering over our churches. And we just thank you that you have an amazing plan for each one of us. And I just thank you for all that you're doing. And we just pray that this virus would be defeated soon. And we just thank you that you are just a loving and caring God. We just praise you and give you all the glory. In the name of Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks so much, Winston.
Thanks, team. Winston, know that our love and support goes towards you and your whānau as you continue through this time as resourcing all these churches. It's a huge job.
Massive.
And so we're just back behind you, man. May you feel that as you go forth into your different roles and things like that. But we will see all of you back here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Catch you later. See ya.